Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning in once again to Queen Amadai TV presents The Root of All Evil, and also Queen Amadai TV presents True Crimes. Okay, so let's get into it, people. First of all, let me see who is in the chats. Okay. Hello, Ian Maat. Hello, Chris. Melanated Brown, Tamisha, Nichelle, Flow Records, Mar A, Louise, Silent D, LeVar, Howard Griffin. Okay, so thank you all for tuning in. Let's get into it, people. Let's get into it. I'm sorry for being late, okay? Also, let me say this. I know I told y'all this on my last video, but let me just say this again for those of you who weren't there, okay? I apologize that last night some of you may have been waiting in the chat thinking my video was starting at 9 p.m. when it actually was scheduled to start at 9 a.m. Okay, this morning for your morning wake-up call. Second of all, I noticed that last night and I changed it, and I thought I made a mistake, and I was like, how did I put 8 p.m. instead of 8 a.m.? And then I find out that it wasn't me, it was YouTube, because other people screenshot different videos that had crazy times on them, like 1:30 in the morning, 1 p.m. when actually it was scheduled for 9 a.m. So stuff like that. So please pay attention, people. YouTube is really out here hating these streets very hard. And so they're purposely changing my time so that people are confused and thrown off on my other two channels, Queen QueenAShakur TV show and Authentic Black Goddess TV. So those channels, they really mess with them because that's the pro-black channels where I talk about police brutality and wannabe white supremacists and all those things. So they can't stand that. So they want to sabotage those channels. Pay attention. So that all being said, let me just remind you of this. Though sometimes I may come on early in the morning, I do my wake-up call at 9 a.m. Sometimes I come on an hour or so early because I have more stories to give out. But nevertheless, I'm always going to go on at 9 a.m. Even if I come on early, I'm still going to be doing another show at 9 a.m. That's always a given unless I post on my other social media telling you otherwise. And then in the evening, I'm always going to go on at 6 p.m. for your daily vitamin. I never change the time on your daily vitamin. It's always going to be at 6 p.m. So no matter what they do to try to trick you, sabotage me, or whatever, just know that two things are for sure. I'm going on at 9 a.m. and 6 p.m., okay? And anything you miss in between, you can find out about it when I do those two lives, okay? Make sure you subscribe to all of the channels in case they try something shady, like banning me again for a week, so that you have other channels to go on to get the same information. Because this is how they roll. So you have to try to counter it. And that's why it's imperative for you guys to share these videos so that, my channel grows, because they try to stop the channel from growing. They shadow ban you and do all these crazy things. Okay? Yes, they deleted Young Pharaoh's channel completely. Absolutely. They deleted my channel completely also. I had another channel, the Queen QueenAShakur show. As you know now, I have the Queen QueenAShakur TV show and Authentic Black Goddess. I started those two channels because they banned my main channel that I didn't even have for a year. Okay. And I was already up to like 20,000, almost at 20,000 subscribers. So I had to start fresh. So I feel Pharaoh's pain. And I heard that he's going to sue them, as he should, okay? Obviously, they don't get tired of getting sued because so many people have class action lawsuits against them and have sued them before, all right? So the beat continues. I always catch up on your daily dose, even when ScrewTube is hating. Thank you, Terry. Thank you. All right, so, and just keep in mind, people, that I usually post on YouTube in the community. I usually post on YouTube and also on Instagram and Twitter what time I'm doing my other lives, okay? So let's go ahead and get started because at 6 o'clock, I have to start your daily vitamin. All right, so let's talk about this NYPD, former NYPD cop who pleads guilty to alleged murder for hire plot to her husband. Yeah. And then I also have another story we're going to talk about too, about a botched murder for hire scheme for 2 women in Louisiana. Okay, so this happened in New York. Now, a former NYPD officer pleaded guilty on Friday, and this just happened, people. This is recent, okay? This was just a few days ago. A former NYPD officer pleaded guilty on Friday to an obstruction charge stemming from the murder for hire plot to kill her estranged husband and her boyfriend's teenage daughter. So just a wicked devil. Now, mind you, this is the same person who was a police officer. Can you imagine how many people she likely killed or had killed? Please pay attention, okay? But we're supposed to trust the police? I don't think so. Now, Valerie Cincinnati paid her one-time boyfriend, John DeRuba, $7,000 to hire a hitman to kill estranged husband Isaiah Carvalho amid a bitter divorce and custody battle over their son. Now, she wanted to kill him because they were getting a divorce, because first of all, she wanted all the money for herself. She wanted to make sure she didn't have to split her pension with him, and plus she wanted his money, and she thought that he was going to try to get the son or whatever. So that's why she wanted him killed. Now, DeRuba went straight to the authorities. Imagine the look on her face. He went to the authorities when Sincerely wanted to include DeRuba's 15-year-old daughter in the plots. Now, how crazy is she? He says, I deleted images on an iPhone with the intent to obstruct a federal grand jury investigation into the murder for hire, Cincinnati said during the plea hearing. I knew what I did was wrong, and I'm truly sorry, Your Honor. Yeah, you know how it's funny how they think they can just explain away whatever they did and why, and then start with the tears and the mago-splain, as I call it. Now, had the case gone to trial, federal prosecutors said they would have introduced evidence that included audio and video recordings in which Cincinnati was overheard discussing the plots and an alibi to make sure she got away with it. Now, during the virtual hearing, Cincinnati, who has been in custody since her 2019 arrest, broke down wailing, saying, for 2 years, I haven't seen my son. You know what? I don't feel sorry for her. At the end of the day, she's crying now, talking about for 2 years you haven't seen your son. Whose fault is that? Maybe if you hadn't tried to have your son's father killed, right, you wouldn't be in this pickle. Now, the defense hopes to get her released on bail while she awaits sentencing. Her plea agreement called for a sentence of about 5 years in prison. Isn't that something? 5 years in prison when you tried to get somebody murdered. 2 people, mind you, not 1, 2. And you only get 5 years because of a plea deal. I want y'all to pay attention. I guarantee you this wouldn't have happened to one of us, all right? Now, federal prosecutors agreed not to ask for more than 60 months behind bars when she is sentenced on October the 29th. Cincinnati, age 36, resigned from the NYPD after a 12-year career. She had been assigned to the Video Interactive Patrol Enhanced Response, or known as the Viper units, now whose members monitor security cameras at city housing projects. The unit is largely made up of officers on modified duty due to other infractions. I want you to pay attention. Usually made up of officers on modified duty due to other infractions. Wonder what her infractions were. Please, likely murder. And authorities say Cincinnati had prior domestic incidents involving the boyfriend and the ex-husband that led to her being assigned there. They probably didn't find out about the people she had killed. Now, before that, she was assigned to the 106th precinct in Queens. Judge Joanna Siebert took the plea in Central Islip during a virtual hearing. The judge who had been presiding over the case, Sandra Feuerstein, was killed in a hit and run in Boca Raton last Friday. Now, I want y'all to pay attention to this. Yes, Yvette, infractions, honey. That's what they called it. But listen to this. Yes, we harsh so they criminals. We know this, yes. But did you hear the last part? I want y'all to pay attention. Let me read that to you again. Judge Joanna Siebert took the plea in Central Islip during a virtual hearing. The judge who had been presiding over the case, Sandra Feuerstein, was killed in a hit and run in Boca Raton last Friday. Killed in a hit and run? Does anybody think that sounds the least bit suspicious? Listen to it. Federal judge from Long Island killed by hit and run driver in Florida. Says a federal judge in New York was struck and killed by a hit and run driver. Now, Eastern District of New York federal judge Sandra Feuerstein, age 75, was killed, and a 6-year-old boy was seriously hurt as they were walking on the sidewalk on Friday morning. Now, I want y'all to pay attention. This was on Friday before she had to go to court. Now, I'm not saying she had anything to do with it, but I find it very suspicious. Let me continue. Police say a 23-year-old Natasha Snape struck the judge before hitting the child who was crossing the sidewalk. She then reportedly drove away. The boy, Anthony Orkinov, was taken to the hospital, but his condition Sunday could not be determined. Snape was found near Delray Beach after the car had been crashed. According to the court documents, she began fighting medics and claimed she was Harry Potter. Now she want to play crazy. Y'all hear this? She started fighting the medics and talking about she's Harry Potter. Now, y'all know she's not crazy. Putting her on the front. This is what they always do. Play the mental illness card, honey. Miss me with it. Police said they found in her purse the synthetic drug commonly known as bath salts, which can cause psychotic episodes. Snape is facing multiple charges, including vehicular homicide and leaving the scene of a crash. She remained jailed on Sunday on a $60,000 bond. The Palm Beach County Public Defender's Office was not open Sunday and has a policy of not speaking about its cases. Now, in the Potter novels, there is a character named Snape. In Harry Potter, there's actually a character named with the same name as her. Now, do y'all think she was crazy and just came up with that? She absolutely said that, all right? Because she knows that there's a person named after her in Harry Potter, and she says, oh, let's just act crazy, right? Please. Now, Feuerstein was currently presiding over the murder for hire case of NYPD officer Valerie Cincinnati, who is accused of plotting against her estranged husband. It is unclear how Feuerstein's death will impact the case. Now, Feuerstein was appointed to the bench by former President George W. Bush in 2003. The court's jurisdiction covers Long Island, including Brooklyn and Queens, along with Staten Island. She served as a New York State judge for 16 years prior to that. Acting U.S. Attorney Mark Lesko, along with the Eastern District of New York, extended their condolences to Feuerstein's family and Feuerstein's family during this time. They say, as we mourn her tragic death, we also remember Judge Feuerstein's unwavering commitment to justice and service to the people of our district with our nation. Feuerstein was born in New York in 1946 and worked as a school teacher prior to earning a law degree and becoming a judge. So let me just tell y'all something. I don't think that's a coincidence. I find that very interesting. And this woman who got caught for doing this likely was paid to do so. The judge was probably about to give her the business. Yes, because they said she had a long time commitment to justice. Now that this judge is dead and another judge presided over it, you mean to tell me she only gets a measly 5 years for plotting the murders of 2 people and one of them a minor? Please miss me with it. She absolutely, as far as I'm concerned, has something to do with this. Like I said, she probably hired that woman who hit the judge. Now the woman's going to play crazy and she too will get off talking about she's Harry Potter. Isn't that something? So, anyway, this is all so crazy. Sweet Pea said, now Harry Potter. Not Harry Potter. Yeah, this is all bullshit. Right. Yvette said she was going to throw the book at the demon devil. Yes, absolutely. And that is why she did what she did. I'm pretty sure that's what she did. Now, so in this other story, clearly nefarious, 2 women were killed in a murder for hire plot gone wrong. This is what the Louisiana sheriff says. So Hope Nettleton and Brittany Cormier were killed in a botched murder for hire plot. Neither was the intended victim, according to the Terrebonne Parish Sheriff. Now, can you imagine how horrible that is? Neither of them were the victim or the intended victim. So 3 men from Louisiana are now facing murder charges after 2 women, including the sister of one of the men. One of the fools killed his own sister. Pay attention. Now, they were killed in a murder for hire plot gone wrong, according to Terrebonne Parish Sheriff Tim Soignet. At a news conference held on Monday, they said the sheriff said Bo Cormier hired Andrew Eskine and Dalvin Wilson to kill a rape victim who was going to testify against him. Let me tell y'all something. Let me stop right there. Do y'all know what kind of sick, depraved, pathetic person would agree to kill somebody for money? But not only that, one that especially would agree to kill somebody because the person is going to testify because somebody raped them? A person who's completely innocent of any wrongs, somebody raped them, and now the rapist, wants to have them killed so they can't testify? Oh, I wish somebody would ask me something so foolish. Honey, I wish they would, okay? How crazy do you have to be? Anyway, so in a news release, the sheriff's office said that Cormier, age 35, of Kaplan, and Eskine, of 25, of Corinthcrow, and Wilson, 22, of Rain, traveled to Montague, I guess it's Montague, to do surveillance on the residence and hide on a prior occasion, attempted to carry out the killing, but they were unsuccessful. So Montague is about 70 miles southwest of New Orleans. Now, on January the 13th, Wilson went to the home in Montague and asked for the rape victim by name. Brittany Cormier, Beau's sister, told the shooter that it was her in an attempt to protect the victim. That's what she was trying to do, trying to protect the victim. So the sheriff said, noting that she was accepting her fate to save the life of the actual victim. So Brittany Cormier was shot along with her neighbor, Hope Nettleton, who was visiting and had tried to fight off the shooter. So that's so crazy. I want y'all to picture this. So somebody comes knocking on your door. You realize that they're to kill your friend. And so to save your friend, you lie and say you're the person. Now, in the midst of them killing you, your neighbor comes by to see what's going on, or maybe just to visit. See the person killing you, and they jump in and try to fight to save your life and lose theirs too. How tragic is this, people? You cannot make this stuff up. So sad and clearly nefarious. So anyway, Brittany Cormier was shot along with her neighbor, Hope Nettleton, who was visiting and had tried to fight off the shooter. Both women died at the scene. Neither was the person that the suspects that were hired were looking for. Neither of them was the person the suspects were hired to kill, according to the sheriff. Now, I'm going to show you a picture of the thugs because I'm looking right at them. They look a hot mess. Now, Beau Cormier, Dalvin Wilson, and Andrew Erskine were each charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder. They say we don't get these types of things to happen, double homicides in Terrebonne Parish, the sheriff said, especially Montague. It's a small town. He added, there were good people that ended up dying. Clearly, they were good people. I mean, these people were willing to risk their lives for somebody else. These are the kind of friends we all need, right? Police. Sadly, most of us have friends that are haters, I'm sure. Beau Cormier, Wilson, except for me. My friends clearly don't hate us. I only have a handful of people that I call friends. The rest, they're just associates. But let me continue. Although Eskine was not at the scene of the crime, he is being charged in the killings because he facilitated the vehicle and helped make the plan. Now, they say this really hit the community hard. So we worked real hard to bring peace to the families and the community with these arrests, says the sheriff. It is unknown whether any of the suspects have an attorney, and the criminal complaint is not yet available. Now, Terrebonne Parish District Attorney Joseph Waltz told reporters that he was in the process of scheduling a meeting with the victims before deciding on whether to seek the death penalty in these cases. Though he said the death penalty is absolutely on the table. I mean, it should be. They murdered 2 people. They deserve the death penalty, all of them involved. Now, according to a Tuesday news release, the suspects are in the Terrebonne Parish Jail, and they are being held without bond. The sheriff's office gave this information in a release. Now, previously, they had a bond set for $2 million each, but now they have no bond, as they shouldn't have one. So clearly, devils. Let me show you the pictures of the victims and then the devils who murdered them. It's also nefarious people. Clearly. Let's get the likes up. Everyone, please I'm your friend, Queen. I'm your friend, Queen. Pisces ride together. That's right, Flow Records. That's right. All my subscribers are my friend. What was I talking about, right? I love the Royals. So look at this, people. Here are the two victims. One of them died trying to save her friend, and the other one, but they both died trying to save a friend. One died taking up for her friend and lying and saying she was the victim, and the other one died trying to fight for the person, her friend that was getting killed. Also sad. Here are the three thugs right here. Look at them. And look at Tyrone's silly self in the middle. Now he'll spend the rest of his life in prison. Or you know what? He'll likely be the fool that gets the death penalty. He'll likely be the fool that gets the death penalty, and the other two will likely get life in prison. At least they'll live to see another day. So nefarious. It's clearly stupid. Yes, it is sad, Image Blast. It absolutely is. So, but you know what, people? These are what devils do. We should not ever be shocked and surprised, because as I told you, there are some people who absolutely will do anything for the love of money. That is so sad, right? Some people will do anything and stop at nothing just to get money. They don't care. And here's a news clip. Let me just show this. Hold on, people. Let me share my screen. Everyone, please get the likes up. Don't forget to subscribe to the channels. If you haven't done so already, be sure to click the notification bells and click the word all so that you're notified each time the Queen Goddess goes live.
Primary care differently. Our best.
Charged with killing 2 women in a murder for hire gone wrong. Police say the ringleader, the alleged plot of the brother of one of the women killed.
This whole thing involves primarily 5 people. You have Beau Cormier, Andrew Eskine, Davin Wilson, and the 2 victims, Brittany Cormier, who happens to be Beau's sister, and Hope Nettleton, who's a neighbor of Brittany. This whole thing surrounds Beau Cormier. He's like at the heart of this whole sort of twisted plot. In my reporting, I found that he was arrested on a sex charge and is a convicted sex offender. He pleaded guilty in 2004 to carnal knowledge of a juvenile. And so he was on a sex offender registry for about 15 years. What the police learned is that Beau Cormier hires his 2 friends, Andrew Eskine and Davin Wilson, to kill the rape victim so she couldn't testify against him. So the men travel from the Lafayette area to Montague and conduct surveillance on Brittany, or the home where they believe Brittany Cormier's home, where they believe the rape victim lives. And that's between July and November of 2020, where they're conducting this surveillance. In November, Eskine and Wilson go to the home and to carry out the killing, but for whatever reason, they abort the mission. Mr. Wilson is alleged to have entered the house, and having never seen the rape victim, he didn't know what she looked like. He gives the rape victim by name and asks who she is, where is she? And Brittany Cormier tells the gunman that she is the rape victim. And by doing so, the sheriff here says she accepts her fate and knows, she's about to die. But by doing so, she saves the life of the intended target, the actual rape victim. Police investigators were able to use security cameras and witness testimony, and they're able to work with other law enforcement agencies and track down Eskine and Wilson in the Lafayette area, bring the two men to justice. They both confessed allegedly to their involvement in the plot, and they essentially said they were paid by Beau Cormier to carry it out.
The nefariousness of it all, people. Step and fetch your death sentence. Okay, with his stupid self. You see him sitting up there looking like a fool. Queen, the rape victim was his sister's daughter. His sister gave her life to save her daughter's life. Okay, yeah, it was her daughter because it said a family member, right? Absolutely. Well, at the end of the day, honey, she still gave her life for somebody else's. But yeah, so that's all crazy. Wow. Big Zilla said, hold on. Oh, Big Zilla said 48 looking boy. Oh, wow, first 48 looking boy. Okay, please, wasn't it? As Truly said, yes, it absolutely is. Melanated Brown said, you big dummy, in my Fred Sanford voice. Didn't know what she looked like. I just can't. Absolutely. But in this case, that's a good thing because otherwise her daughter would be dead. But I want y'all to pay attention. This devil who hired them, he had been convicted of rape before of a minor. Okay, I think it was 2003 or 4 from what they said. And then he was on the sex offender registration for 15 years. Well, as soon as he gets off, what does he do? Goes off and sexually assaults and rapes somebody else again. And your own family member? What kind of Neanderthal BS is that? Okay, please miss me with it. Oh, my goodness. And then gonna kill your sister's child. Matter of fact, you raped your sister's child. You know what? I hope he does get the death penalty because he was the whole common player, the whole key player to this whole thing. I hope they literally kill him, honey. I hope they put him on death row with a quickness. Yep, Michelle said, that's what they do, honey. You are so right. That is what they do. Okay, so that all being said, I hope you all enjoyed that. I'm going to conclude the broadcast because let's not forget to return right back to the chat at 6 p.m. for your daily vitamins. Okay, I'm going to be talking about how to, not Tamir Rice's, but how Breonna Taylor's mother had some words for Black Lives Matter. And also going to be doing a breakdown, a review of the show that came on last night on CNN, the special, The People versus the Klan. This is a very interesting story. And I had some revelations about this story. So we're going to talk about that. All right. So thank you all for tuning in. Please like and share the video. Make sure you subscribe to the channels if you haven't done so. Don't forget to follow the Queen on Instagram at QueenAShakur. Also on Instagram at divine_goddess_27. On Brighton and Patreon at QueenAShakur. And Twitter at DGoddess27. So until next time, Royals, I will talk to you all again soon. Peace.